Hey guys, I am in the shop today and I wanted to talk to you guys about power stations. Yeah, out there overlanding, I like power. So when you talk about power stations, most people think about big name brands. This is an EcoFlow system. This is the brand that I prefer because it's economical and it's a good start. Now there's other brands out there like Anchor and Blue Eddy, all great brands, but they get pretty expensive pretty quick. This EcoFlow is 800 watt, 768 watt hours. As you can see, it's got 4 AC plugs. It's got your 12 volt power plug. It's got USBs and C connections, and it plugs into the wall to charge or into solar. Now this little unit's great, a lot of power. I've actually ran my fridge in the truck for about 2.5, 3 days off of this. So good weekend, not a problem. Could even charge phones or a few other camera equipment and stuff like that as well. But as good as the EcoFlow River 2 Pro, which is what this is, I needed something with more power, but I didn't want to spend a whole lot of extra money to get that power. So what I did was this. So there it is. I went ahead and built my own mega power station. And this thing is awesome. I actually took it out to the SAVE Expo, the Southeast Adventure Vehicle Expo in Sark, Florida. And I got rave reviews over it. Everybody was interested in it. Everybody wanted to know how it works. So I decided, let's do a video and let me show you what's inside. All right, so first let's talk about what the case is. This is your typical Harbor Freight tool pack out case. This is the bottom case with the wheels and the dolly. This joker's heavy. Probably, I would say, somewhere as close to 70 pounds. Don't know exactly, didn't weigh it, but it's heavy. The case itself was 70 bucks. Cheap. A lot cheaper than what you'll find in some of the other ones like Milwaukee and Craftsman and DeWalt and all that, but it serves the same purpose. Good, solid, sturdy case is what you want to start out with. So let's see what's inside. Power inverter. This is a Harbor Freight Jupiter 2000 continuous watt power inverter with a peak of 4,000 watts. This thing will power almost anything. They only sell one model larger than this at Harbor Freight, but this is quite sufficient. Anderson connector. Here's how we charge the unit up. Right there. DC fuse panel. Check that out. And I'll have pictures posted at the end of this video, close-up shots, so you can see things a lot better. Here's our plugs. This right here, these two are USB plugs, 2.1 amps, so they're quick charge plugs. These two, top and the bottom here, that is our 12 volt DC plug. And then there's that power inverter. Now the power inverter has 3 plugs on it. What I did from Amazon is bought the plug with cover that basically is a wire with a plug on it, and it plugs right in. And what I'll do is I'll add 2 more plugs on the outside here to plug into this box. That way I'll have 3 AC plugs to be able to use for anything. Sometimes I have a projector out on campsite. If we have a bunch of people coming out, we'll do movie night outside. So the projector, sound system, and all that can plug into this. If I need to run a power tool for whatever reason, it can plug into this. And then the USB ports. Obviously, you can charge your phone, your cameras, all that type of equipment. And then your 12-volt plug, you can do the same, but you can also run a diesel heater on it. Yes, you heard right. You can run your diesel heater off of this unit. Perfect. And let's not forget the shutoff switch. On, off. Now you might ask, what powers all this? Well, I have 2 lithium 100 amp hour batteries in this unit at the bottom. That you can see in the pictures as well at the end of the video. But they're 12.8 volt, 100 amp hour lithium batteries from Lithium. Good batteries. A little pricey. They're not your cheap Timu batteries, but they're not also the most expensive. Now, this build, your lithium batteries are going to be your top cost. So you can go as cheap as you want, or you can go as expensive as you want when it comes to that. But remember, your batteries are what determines the life of your unit and how much power you have for how long you have. So with this unit in here and 2 of these, I get over 200 amp hours, because these are actually pushed a little bit more than 100 amp hours per battery, even though they're labeled 100 amp hours. But after a full charge on it, I noticed I was getting 279 amp hours of power, which translates to somewhere well over 2,000 watt hours, 2,300 watt hours, which is a tremendous amount of power. So much power that I ran my fridge when I went out to the Save event. I turned it on Wednesday, plugged into this unit, and I didn't unplug it till Tuesday evening. So it ran from Wednesday to Tuesday, almost 7 full days. And I went from 100% down to like 55%, 56%, somewhere around there. So basically, for a full week, ran this fridge and only used half the power that I had. As well as we charged phones and camera equipment and all that kind of good stuff as well. So a big unit pays off. Now you might ask, well, Doug, how do you know all this information off of this unit? The watt hours and wattages and all that? Well, it's simple. I went out and bought a Lennox screen for this unit. And that's it right there. So this unit, we turn it on. And I don't know if you can see in the screen, we'll get a little bit closer, but this gives me my percentage. It gives me how many watts I have, how many amps my unit is pulling if something's plugged into it, all that information. And it gives me how many amp hours I have left. So let's look here. So here we go. So as you can see, it's at 55% with 153.1 amp hours. So that's pretty good. I've only charged this one time. Like I said, I've used it for about a week, and that's where it's left at. Gives you your watts here of how much wattage you're pulling. So my fridge uses about 45 watts when it's operating. Right there is how many volts we're looking at. Right now, his batteries are holding steady at 13 volts. Gives you the temperature. So the internal temperature of this box is about 57 degrees. So right now nothing's running, and we're out in the shop. Even though the shop is heated, I just turned the heat on. So that will go up. But I've never had it hit, I don't even think it's hit 100 yet. So that's really good. And then it also shows you your amps. And then there's a graph here that you can use over time if you'd like to. So for this screen to operate and work, they provide you with what's called a shunt. And it's a part that goes on the negative side of your batteries. And everything that pulls a load is wired into the shunt. So one side of the shunt hooks up to your batteries, negative. The other side of the shunt, any negative on your power, so your power inverter, your 12 volt fuse panel, all of that gets wired on the negative side of this shunt. And then obviously on the positive side, you wire everything as normal. Your positive from your inverter, positive from your 12 volt fuse panel, all that goes first to your switch, and then on the other side of your switch wires into the positive on your battery. And I will make a future video and make a smaller power station to demonstrate all of this, so stay tuned for that. So this is what that shunt looks like. So as you can see right here, this is where your negative, and it's hard to see, but it wires up to your negative on the battery there. And then all of your loads, negative, go right here. So this is the power inverter, which is right there. These black wires go to wiring your 12 volt fuse panel. And then there is a red cable, which is a positive cable that comes out of the shunt. You actually have to put it in this little screw thing at the bottom. It runs to your positive lead, which I actually have it hooked to the switch here, as you can see. And that's what turns on and off the unit and operates the unit on the screen. As well as there is a plug. These wires all right here plug into the back of this unit and then run all the way over here. You can see down below, it plugs in down there. Now you can buy these screens without the shunt. I'm not sure why you'd want to do that. Mine came with the shunt, so I don't know if there's any difference in some of the ones without. Maybe they have a built-in device inside the unit. I kind of doubt it. But the unit itself was $70. That included the shunt and the screen and all the wiring, which I think is pretty decent value for the information that you get out of it. If anything, it allows you to see the percentage in your battery to say, hey, my batteries are low, I need to charge it. As well, I also have hookups for solar, so I can wire in solar panels. And then, like I showed you before, the Anderson plug, which plugs directly to the battery, and that's for my lifetime charger for the lithium batteries. You have to have a special battery charger for lithium batteries. You can't just use your regular standard charger that your grandfather gave you. Lithium batteries are a different, totally different animal. But that's it, really simple in a nutshell. I decided to go this route. I had all of this equipment in the truck permanently mounted, and I did some modifications inside the truck, and I just didn't want my batteries and all that mounted in there. So I decided I'm gonna go portable, and we could be able to pull it out of the truck and use it outside to do movie night and stuff like that, and not have to run a bunch of extension cords or whatever. Or if I actually need to bring it in the house to plug anything in, this will actually run a household fridge. Don't exactly know how long, but I'm sure it'll run it for at least a day or two. So I think it's a win-win. The total unit, now mind you, I had batteries and power inverter already. So all the other accessories were only a few $100s. Your power inverter is going to cost you a couple $100, and your batteries, like I said before, is your biggest expense. These lifetime batteries, you can catch them on sale every once in a while for like $199. Normally they're $400. If you look on Marketplace, sometimes you can find people that have them that aren't that old, and you can pick them up a lot cheaper that way as well. But you can get some cheaper batteries like on Temu and stuff. And I've not tested them, so I can't testify to them. But these lifetime batteries work really, really good, and I do recommend them. They're also smart batteries, so you can actually Bluetooth your cell phone to the batteries, and it gives you your battery readout and all your information on your batteries, as in your percentages and all that kind of stuff, your wattage is being pulled out or taken in. So you really, I guess you don't have to have the screen if you didn't want to make the expense of the screen, because with these lifetime batteries you can just grab your phone and you can look and see what your percentage and your wattages are that way. But I wanted a screen. I don't always carry my phone on me, so sometimes it just sits in the rig and I'm outside or whatever and I want to see it. But that's all of it in a nutshell. Oh, and don't forget, your fan. Very important. You have to have a fan in these boxes to pull in air to keep them cool. So what this is a regular PC fan that plugs in to USB, and it plugged into the USB on the power station. So this unit was under 20 bucks. It was like $15, $16. And what I did was I went ahead, I don't know if you can see, but I drilled holes all throughout here, and that creates perfect airflow. And with this lid closed up and the fan running, I can feel air coming out the other end, as well as the inverter fans are also blowing directly out and exhausting out. So it's really a good setup, and I really highly recommend it. And like I said, I'm confident I could run probably for sure a week out with this being my only power for everything that I use. But I am a little conservative on power. I'm gonna guess I could go more than a week. I'm gonna even maybe push it and say close to 2 weeks, because really the biggest thing I run is my fridge, and I might charge a little bit of equipment. I run Devos lights, so those would have to be charged a couple different times. But other than that, it's set. You know, I use a CPAP machine at night, so this gives me ample opportunity if I needed to plug in my CPAP machine. Now, I have a 12-volt plug for my CPAP machine, so it doesn't draw as much power, and I can actually use it on that little EcoFlow system and put it up in the tent. But if you had just this, you could plug it into your AC or get the 12-volt adapter and plug it in here, and you'd be fine. You'd be able to run. It takes very, very little power. Like I said, I'll put some pictures up here to show you the internals of this stuff as I was kind of building it a little bit. And then I'll go ahead and in the future here, I'll build a smaller one and do a video on the actual install of everything and how to wire everything up completely step by step. But in the description, you'll also see that there will be a parts list of all the parts that I used for this power station, and links to where you can get them. Everything in this was either Harbor Freight or Amazon. Simple. Everything came out of Harbor Freight or Amazon. I did use a little bit of wood to brace some things and wedge some things in here. But other than that, you're talking 2 stores, and there can be 2 budget stores if you look around. So thanks for watching this video. If you like it, click the like button, subscribe, click the notification bell so you can get some more of these awesome videos and see some of my cool adventures out on the trails. Talk to you guys later.